Hey everybody, this is Perch. It's X-Force, number 14, and this is Ten of Swords, part 17. So we're getting close to the end here, and we're finally in the tournaments and the little battles here, although it turns out very few swords in these battles, mostly shenanigans. So let's see what we're in for this time. Spoiler, more shenanigans. So our comic opens immediately up with a callback to the previous issue where we had a Magic versus Pog fighting in a unarmed contest, wrestling contest, I guess. But as he eats Magic, he realizes that she bursts out of his stomach from the inside. Not exactly sure how, but she does. So Pog, it turns out, is just a kind of armor, or as Magic calls it, alligator pajamas, and that the actual creature inside is a little goblin, fat kind of goblin-looking thing, and Magic easily kind of punches him and wins a point for Krakoa. So that was we learned that this kind of giant crocodile thing is just armor, more or less. I guess she doesn't punch her way out. She causes Pog's armor to vomit. Now, why the armor would vomit, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It's Magic time. Anyway, so we get in at that point to a number of different tournament fights. We get what looks like a torture fight, a rolling a rock up the hill fight, a swimming with sea creatures fight, some kind of eat gross food fight, a dance contest. For some reason, we get a look through a maze contest. And what's notable here is that Storm is in a few of these. So, we have that. We have a puzzle making contest. We have a fashion show contest where Wolverine is in some kind of crazy bondage looking outfit. And Storm looks quite happy, quite regal. We later learn that she was drunk. And then some kind of try and figure out where you're going contest. What's weird is that, so basically Araku's winning all of these. They're winning everything. Krakoa does win the gross food eating contest, it looks like. And then they also win the puzzle contest for some reason. And we then get to the Crooked Market, which is run by Jim Jaspers, and Captain Avalon is there walking around. It's nice that they drew the sword on his back to just remind us that there's such a thing. But Saturnine again comes around to kind of remind him that he should regain his status as Captain Britain, and she really wants that D, is what's going on. So he is mad at her, of course, for killing off Betsy or for her dying, and she sends the Fury after these, which is a major character from the Alan Moore days, but they're henchmen to Saturnine now, and so it's a race. It's a race between Captain Britain here and his Redroot the Forest character. And so they go racing through the Crooked Market, but the Fury attack Captain Britain and just destroy all kinds of things everywhere. I said, sorry, Captain Avalon. And this allows Redroot to basically kind of walk to a victory. Redroot can't really run, I guess. So it's like a tortoise and the hare type situation. But as Redroot is walking, she tips over a piece of crystal, and this is bad news, apparently. She does make it to the finish line while Captain Britain is just being kind of attacked by the Fury, and wins the point and is happy. Says, I've never won anything before. Which begs the question why we would bring Redroot into this contest at all. But, whatever. It's jokes. And but just as she's starting to celebrate, Jim Jaspers points out that she shattered a rare crystal idol of bamboo. And Redroot's like, oh no, oh dear, how much did it cost? And he points out it's priceless. And therefore Jim Jaspers uses magic to kind of shrink Redroot down and place her in a bottle that now he gets to own, I guess. I guess he owns her now. So in addition to Saturnine being way overpowered in this event, we have the other denizens of other worlds can pretty much do whatever they want. This is them screwing with the X-Men and with Araku. So they point out that the damage that Captain Avalon did. I mean, it was a Fury attacking, so technically Jasper should be shrinking down Saturnine more than anything. But whatever. So he basically she tells him you're going to be thrown into his debtor's oblique, and then he has to ask for her help. So on that cliffhanger, which means that Captain Avalon's likely getting himself into some debt. We get a brief interlude here with a Mojo fan page where this is a data sheet here, which is Major Domo is basically taking notes on the battles. How Mojo is watching on all this, nobody knows, but we get some good comedy of anyway. Mojo is suggesting that Magic should lose for their TV show both times to become Pog's love interest, and that there's anyway. Yikes. So we then get two more contests. We get a spelling contest where we learn that Magic can't spell magic. She spells it with a K and then realizes she's dumb. And then we get a White Sword versus Wolverine stare into the mirror and observe all the faces of those you have killed. And White Sword doesn't blink, but Wolverine begins to cry and so loses. And then we get a very strange contest where you're supposed to resist the call of the rock sirens. We don't see these rock sirens, but maybe their sirens are rocks. I don't know. But Wolverine and Magic basically are able to resist, but Gorgon gets super horny and takes off his robe and goes chasing in there to have sex with the boulder. We then transition over to War versus Captain Avalon and a Kill the Kitten contest. And so all these things are going on. Basically, Rocco is soundly defeating Krakoa. They're winning almost every contest because Krakoa is having sex with rocks or can't spell or losing a foot race or not killing the kitten fast enough. Who knows? But we then transition to a little pairing that they set up over multiple issues where Storm is going to fight Death and they're going to dance. But in this case, it's not really a dance. It is a sword or a knife fight. That's going to go on. So they're in the undead kingdom of Savaloth, and they're basically the stands are filled with the undead vampire-like creatures. Saturnine's hanging out here watching this stuff, and then but Storm points out that whatever Logan and she drank, she can't fight. She can barely stand. She's still drunk or hungover or who knows. And worse still, she realizes her powers are gone. Now that's even weirder because we've seen her in several contests leading up to this. So she's just now coming to the conclusion that her powers are gone. Anyway, it doesn't make Storm out to be a super clever person. And a lot of the reviews of this issue, because they have their fight, they go back and forth, and Storm points out that her powers aren't what makes her powerful. And then she's able to destroy the Sword of Death. Death takes off his mask. But she's able to reflect back his death stare with her Black Panther knife and then stab him in the chest and kill him. And now the reviews of this are going to be, this proves, it's going to be that line. It's that my powers aren't what makes me powerful. And it's a hero moment for Storm. However, to accept that, you have to accept that earlier in the issue, just one page earlier, that Storm is too stupid to realize that after 3 other contests, and then this one, she finally figures out she has no powers. So she points out the wind that always surrounds me like a song, the electricity that hums like nerve endings, it's gone. So she's so out of touch with what's going on that she can't feel these things, or she's just drunk this entire time. It just, how much time is passing? Did this battle, and it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so, as opposed to a hero moment for Storm, it just kind of makes her look kind of stupid, although she does get the upper hand. She does kill Death or stab him, and then she walks away while the vampires of this region kind of descend on Death and chow down. And that gets her the point. And that we get a little quote from Solemn for some reason, who wasn't in this issue. He's not doing anything in this comic. And that's our close. That's the end of X-Force and this chapter. So a ton of contests. Krakoa definitely losing badly at this point, and some kind of questionable decisions are happening here. It's a very this is an odd, like I said, this is an odd event. I mean, at this point, you have to have given up on things. Now, spoiler for future issues, because we get into Cable and Hellions. We see the Iraqi champions, and we see Summoner dead, and we see Captain Britain dead or crossed off, but we don't see Death dead. So even though Death was being devoured by a bunch of vampires, maybe he's not dead. It's unclear. He doesn't show up in the other issues, but he's not marked as dead. So either that's an editorial mistake, or he's not really dead, or who knows? Who knows what's going on? Maybe Death can't really be dying. Nobody knows. Anyway, this was the issue where almost all the points are going to come from. We saw dance contests, we saw races, we saw a fashion show. Doubt that was what people thought they were going to get when they heard about the Ten of Swords tournament, but defying expectations, folks. Did you like this issue? Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for listening.